Hello, welcome back to Teen Story Share. It's July and we're starting a brand new book. This is The Search for WondLa by Tony DiTerlizzi. And it's about a girl named Eva Nine who is raised in an underground sanctuary by a robot mother, spelled like this. And that's all I'll tell you for now, but we're going to be reading chapters 1 and 2 today. And I'm going to show you a couple of these cool illustrations because, of course, it's Tony DiTerlizzi, so the illustrations are amazing. And if you're a fan of this author illustrator, I will also link the series we did from the Spiderwick Chronicles, which is by Holly Black and Tony DiTerlizzi. Chapter 1, Alone. Eva Nine was dying. The tiny scarlet dots on her hand mirrored the glowing eyes of the snake that had just bitten her. Sitting down on the prickly ground of dead brown pine needles and small cones, she felt the curdled coil of nausea wind its way up her throat from her stomach. She dropped the sweaty handful of moss that she had scooped up from the forest floor. Kindling, her omnipod had instructed her earlier in its chirpy voice. Find a flammable substance such as dry twigs or moss to begin your fire. The large gathering of boulders Eva had found had seemed like the perfect place to make a shelter for the night, and the surrounding area was blanketed in ashen puff patches of reindeer moss. As she had knelt down to gather a clump, Eva had realized there was a rust-colored, mottled snake just next to her, sunning itself in the fading light. She'd realized too late, though, to avoid its bite. Now, with trembling hands, she fumbled through her dingy satchel to retrieve her omnipod. The handheld metallic device was flat like a magnifying glass, with a small circular hole in the middle of it that resembled an eye. Eva's heart pounded as if trying to escape her chest. She swallowed, interrupting the hectic meter of her breathing. The shoulder patch on her tunic blinked off and on in warning. "This is Eva Nine," she whispered into the omnipod. "Initiate. I am. Eva closed her eyes and concentrated. She put the device to her forehead as if the omnipod would whisper to her brain the command she needed. "Greetings, Eva Nine. How can I be of service?" the device chirped. Her hands shook. "I need you to initiate independent medical..." "Do you mean individual medical assistance, IMA for short?" the omnipod corrected her. "Yes," she answered, licking her dry lips and trying to hold her insides in. "Is this an emergency?" "Yes, I need help right away," Eva yelled at the omnipod. "What is the nature of your emergency?" Snake bite," Eva said with a gulp. The nausea lurked just under her tongue, ready to leap out. "Hold, please. Initiating identicapture." Eva watched as 3 tiny lights on the omnipod flickered in a rhythm around its central eye. "Begin identicapture of said snake. We need to determine if it is a poisonous species or not." Through glassy eyes, Eva scanned her immediate area. She could no longer focus on the terrain around her, let alone find a snake disguised as the forest floor. Her eyes rolled up into her head. Her breathing slowed. She let the omnipod slip from her fingers. Eva fell back, like a slain giant collapsing in a miniature forest of moss. She looked up at the fading light of the cobalt blue sky. Her omnipod lay alongside her as it repeated, "Please begin identicapture." All Eva could whisper was, "Dead. I'm totally dead." A voice from the heavens echoed through the landscape. It was a kind and graceful voice, like the sort she'd heard coming from a beautiful woman in an old movie. "Eva, Eva dear, please get up," the voice said. Just like in an old moving picture, Eva could also hear the slightest bit of static hidden in the dulcet intonation. The pine trees seemed to whisper the girl's name as the cool of evening blew in. Somewhere in the distance, a whippoorwill beckoned the night. Eva cracked open her pale green eyes into little slits. Eva Nine, urged the voice. Get up. The girl rolled onto her side. Lying on the forest floor, she examined the tuft of moss in her hand. She saw that the delicate network of stalks really did make it look like a shrunken tree, albeit a washed-out, lifeless one. How does such an insignificant plant survive in a big world, she wondered. What is its purpose? What is my purpose? Eva, please. I'm dead, Eva announced to the sky. Or couldn't you tell? I'm gone, deceased, no more. Dead. She turned her attention back to the little moss tree and pouted. It's not like you have to worry about that, she muttered. The clump of moss in her hands vanished, dissipating into a cloud of light motes. Eva curled up into a ball, shutting her eyes as the world around her also evaporated into nothingness, emptiness. The voice was right next to her now. Eva, what happened? Leave me alone, the ball replied. You were not paying attention, the voice said with a sigh. You had a 98% chance of discovering the snake had you done a simple life scan sweep. It was right there in plain view. Still curled in a ball, Eva said nothing. Of course, I have to mark you as a failure on this particular survival skill test. We shall try it again tomorrow, all right? Said the voice. A warm hand brushed Eva's half-braided, dirty blonde hair. At last, Eva stood up. Two dark orbs, emitting an amber glow from deep within, reflected Eva's own face in a distorted fashion, like a fish in a fishbowl. Large, automated eyelids clicked open and closed in a lifelike manner. Several other eyes, small and unblinking, studied the girl, recording endless data and sending it to a computerized brain. A brain that was contained in two metallic canisters mounted on the back of the head, the front of which displayed a mechanized silicone rubber face. There's Mother. What is going on with you, Eva? The automated lips mimed. This test should have been effortless for you to pass. Is everything all right? One of the robot's telescoping arms extended from a carousel of several additional arms folded up around the cylindrical torso. 4 wiry fingers, also tipped in silicone rubber, rubbed Eva's shoulders in a reassuring fashion. How is your concentration? The robot asked. I noted that you did not rest a full 10 hours last night, which indicates that you may not have achieved enough REM sleep. That can have quite an effect on your performance. Not now, Mother. Eva shrugged the robot off. I need to be alone. She crossed the wide, squarish white room and headed for the low doorway. Buff-colored, rubbery floor tiles absorbed the sound of her plodding footsteps. Though the chamber was only dimly lit, there was still enough light coming from the hollow projectors mounted around the ceiling to show that the room itself was empty of anything, except for the human girl and the pale blue robot. Eva sulked as she shuffled into the main hub of her living quarters. When the large doors to the holography chamber slid shut behind her, a pastoral scene was projected onto them in vivid detail. Cottony clouds drifted aimlessly across a brilliant azure sky over distant lavender mountains. This gave the effect that the entire hub was like a grand outdoor gazebo, displaying a magnificent vista in the round, though one projection was not working properly and flickered into a corresponding nighttime scene, ruining the illusion. Welcome back, Eva Nine, the intercom spoke in its relaxed tone. Its words reverberated throughout the octagonal chamber. How may I help you? Water trickled in a distant stream and songbirds sang, filling the vestibule with ambient sounds coinciding with the scenery. Hi, please open bedroom doors, Sanctuary, Eva said, stomping across the hub toward the far window. Projected on it was a spectacular view of a misty waterfall cascading down from a colossal mountaintop. The cast image crackled when the girl passed through it, as through a holographic curtain, into the open doors of her dimly lit bedroom. Close doors, please. Eva flung her jack vest onto her medi-seat. She sat down on the edge of her foam bed and kicked off her sneak boots. As she flopped back onto the oval mattress, Eva stared up at the myriad of pipes and exhaust shafts that wound through her white ceiling. There were water stains on the corner ceiling tiles of the small room, like large ochre flowers blooming from the pipes. One of the overhead lights flickered in an annoying, erratic tempo. With her hands behind her head, Eva rubbed the raised, round mole on the nape of her neck. The warmth of her electric bed permeated through her tunic in a comfy sort of way. Her eyelids drooped, and she had begun to doze off when her bedroom doors slid back open. "Eva, you forgot your equipment satchel and omnipod back in the hollow chamber," Mother said, rolling into her room balanced on a single tread-worn wheel. "Honestly, dear, how can you expect to pass your training if you do not take care of your things?" "Mother," Eva continued, staring up at the stained ceiling, refusing to look Mother in the eye. "Just leave it. I'll put it away later." The robot picked Eva's dingy jack vest up from the chair. The discarded garment had been perfectly hidden among the stuffed toys, dirty clothes, and Electra papers that were strewn about the room. "Put it away as you have done with the rest of your belongings? I sometimes wonder." "Please, Mother, I just want to be alone for a while," Eva barked at the ceiling. Mother hung the jack vest on the empty row of coat hooks lining the wall. "Dinner is at 1800 hours. Please be timely, Eva," Mother said. After Mother rolled out of the room, the doors slid shut behind her. Eva reached under her head and grabbed her pillow. As she squeezed it over her face, she screamed. Chapter 2. Skills. "I am making spinach and strawberry salad," sang Mother as Eva walked into the kitchen and flopped down at the booth. The eggshell and cream colors of the kitchen walls and numerous stacked cabinets did little to make the compact room appear cozy. A scratched, scuffed oven dominated the far wall, with a large exhaust vent growing out and up through the ceiling. Mounted next to it was a sink that had a variety of faucets and taps, dangling over it like metallic ringed tentacles. Eva picked at a dried bit of food on the steel tabletop. "I am so glad that we were able to fix the irrigation system in the greenhouse last week. Our crop production is already up 76%, Mother said, setting a bowl full of strawberries in front of Eva. "Here, you can cut these up." Eva picked up a strawberry the size of her fist and grabbed a knife from the knife block. "That is a fillet knife," Mother pointed out, gingerly taking the utensil from the girl. Another wire-veined hand handed Eva a small chef's knife. "This should work fine." Eva placed the immense strawberry on its side, ready to slice. "Are you not forgetting something? Are your hands washed?" Mother asked, still facing the sink, where she was now washing spinach leaves. Eva rolled her eyes and joined her. At the sink, Mother prepared the food in her usual efficient manner. One hand passed a clean, wide, wavy spinach leaf to another, which then placed the leaf on a cutting board. There, a third hand cut the spinach up into perfect squares. "I have been thinking," the robot said. "We need to back up and review some of the basic procedures before we continue with our outdoor training." Eva dried her hands on her tunic, leaving damp splotches along the hem. Review?" she sputtered. "How long is that going to take?" "If we start tomorrow, several more weeks, or 24 more days to be exact," Mother answered, scraping the chopped spinach into a steel salad bowl. 24 days? Eva said, shocked. "Why don't we just go out and do some of these exercises for real? I'm sure I'd do a lot better." She lopped the green star-shaped top off a strawberry and sliced the fruit. "You know good and well that you are not yet ready," Mother replied, opening a large cabinet door. The cabinet was stocked full of marked containers of different sizes meticulously arranged as in a giant spice rack. "I am ready," Eva said. "I know more than you think." She slid the quartered strawberry next to the bowl and grabbed another, even larger than the first. "And besides, maybe if we explore, we'll find, others." "Others?" repeated Mother. She paused and rotated her head. With her large eyes, the robot looked like a mechanized owl observing Eva. What others are you speaking of? You know, others. Humans like me, Eva said, keeping her gaze focused on cutting the ripe red fruit. Eva Nine, we have been over this numerous times before. Mother grabbed a hanging pot above her. When she placed it under one of the faucets, water automatically began to fill it up. And as I have told you before, there are no indications of others down here like you. That is what makes you so special. Eva mouthed the last line in perfect unison while she lopped the top off another strawberry. But I think that's why we need to leave, to explore and find out for sure, she countered. You failed the simplest of tasks today, a life scan sweep. You are not yet ready. Mother returned her attention to her cooking. Stovetop, burner 1, heat level 6, please. But I am so cooped up in here, Eva said in a despondent tone. Can't we go out for just a little bit? Mother replied, You will in time, my dear. Now, I don't think you understand, Mother. I do understand. Now, please pay attention. Focus on what you're doing. Mother's tone was stern. How can you understand? Eva slapped the knife down on the tabletop with a loud clang. You're not me. You can't get bitten by a snake. You're not even human. The kitchen was silent except for the clicking of Mother's blinking eyes. She studied Eva with her deep, dark orbs. The pot on the stove began to burble softly. Somewhere high above, an exhaust fan hummed as it sucked the heat up and out of the room. Eva sneered at the robot, waiting for a reaction. She wondered what Mother was thinking with all of those zeros and ones coursing through her electrical nervous system. It was then that Eva realized she was bleeding. Eva! Gasped Mother, wheeling toward her. I just nicked myself with the blade, that's all, Eva said, putting her thumb into her mouth. As she lapped the tiny wound with her tongue, she could taste her blood. She could feel the pulse of her own heart. Now, that is not the way to address a minor cut, Eva. Mother rolled closer, extending a rod-like arm. Let me see it. Eva pulled out her thumb and allowed Mother to study it. At the same time, dinner preparations resumed as Mother dropped several pills from the cabinet into the simmering pot of water. The small kitchen began to fill with the scent of roasted chicken. This is exactly what I am talking about, Mother said. Now, what you need to do is sterilize the site. Then place a small medical sticker on it so that it may heal without infection and with minimum scarring. I'll be fine, Mother. It's just a tiny cut. Eva yanked her hand back. I'll live. Eva, please just... Fine! Eva yelled. She stormed out of the kitchen, muttering under her breath, It's not like you'll ever die. She walked out to the hub, manually activating an adjacent door, which led to the supply room. As the door slid shut behind her, Eva walked past the labyrinth of shelves containing all manner of household items. Electro gaskets, hollow bulbs, lumen packs, various cleaning products, and hydration kits. Hello, Eva Nine. May I help you find something? Asked the calm tone of the sanctuary over the intercom. I'm okay, Sanctuary, Eva replied, stopping in front of a rack holding medical supplies. I'm just looking for a small medi-sticker. Medical sticky bandages with Speed Heal ointment are located on the bottommost shelf, the Sanctuary said. Thanks, Eva said, pulling open a metallic bin. She grabbed 2, pocketing one of the medi-stickers in her tunic. She ripped open the plastic packet with her teeth and placed the medicated sticker over the congealed blood spot on her thumb. Pausing in the shadowy aisle of shelves, Eva listened. Through the ply steel walls, she could hear Mother humming as the robot set the table. Eva walked to the very back of the storage room and stared at the faint outline of a sealed doorway. A doorway she wasn't supposed to know about. Eva, dear, Mother's harmonious voice came in over the intercom. Did you find the medi-stickers? I did, Eva replied, though she knew the question was pointless. Mother and the Sanctuary were linked. I just want to grab some other things. Electra paper to write notes for tomorrow's class. Good thinking, Mother said. Dinner is ready. Later that evening, Eva relaxed in her cozy electric bed, watching her favorite Hollow show, Bee-Boo and Company. Mother entered her faintly lit room and moved through the clutter on the floor. I thought I asked you to pick this up, she said as she approached Eva. Come in, Eva said sarcastically, while she watched brilliantly colored cartoon characters cavort about her bedroom. A blue raccoon was trying to help an orange octopus build a home using sticks and rocks, but the house kept collapsing. A cat wearing a silver suit emblazoned with a logo for the Dynasties Corporation giggled, announcing, "You two need building blocks." Pause program, please, commanded Mother in that cheery tone of hers. I made some notes of my own and thought you might want this, she said, handing Eva an Electra paper. As Eva studied the semi-transparent sheet, faint lines of text scrolled up to meet her roving gaze. This is just a list of the 6 basic survival skills, she said. Eva looked up at Mother, causing the text to stop scrolling. We've gone over this before. Well, we need to go over it again until you get it right, Mother replied. What? Eva said, aghast. The robot put a hand on her shoulder. I am going to quiz you on what each of these skills means tomorrow, Mother said. Pass this quiz with a perfect score, and we can continue with the fire starting exercise right where we left off today. All right? Eva looked back at the list. We won't have to start all over again? We will not have to start all over again if you pass tomorrow's quiz, Mother said. You have a 99% chance of doing this, so I expect you to perform exceptionally. Mother turned away, rolling out of the room. Good night, dear. As the bedroom door slid shut, Eva could hear Mother command the sanctuary to power down for the night. She looked at the list, the words faintly glowing on the Electra paper. 6 basic survival skills for humans. 1. Trust technology. 2. Signal others. 3. Find shelter. 4. Create fire. 5. Procure food and water. 6. Know first aid. Eva slid out of bed and threw a blanket over the life monitor peering down from above. She pulled on her sneak boots, then grabbed her satchel from the nightstand. As she did so, her Omnipod was knocked onto the floor. Jostled, it projected a life-size hologram of a girl in workout attire. Her face bore an uncanny resemblance to Eva's. No, 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 gasped Eva, reaching down for the device. Who's ready to warm up with some jumping jacks? The hologram girl asked in a far too cheerful tone. Eva whispered to the Omnipod, Deactivate, Gym Buddy! Deactivating, the device whispered back. The hologram evaporated, leaving a whitish glow illuminating Eva's face. Is there anything else I can assist you with, Eva Nine? It asked. Just a sec, Eva replied, slipping her bony hand through the Omnipod's wrist strap. Watching her door, Eva waited to see if the noisy outburst had attracted Mother. Finally, she told the Omnipod, Please command the sanctuary to discontinue tracking my location and reporting to Mother until instructed otherwise. Tracking of multi-utility task help robot 06 discontinued. Eva opened her bedroom door and stepped out into the main hub. From under the soles of her sneak boots, she could hear the squish of disinfectant seeping up from the floor tiles as the sanctuary began its nightly cleaning. The stinging scent of cleaner hung in the air, causing Eva's eyes to water and the inside of her nose to burn. She snuck along the perimeter of the hub on a path farthest from Mother's quarters, the control room, in hopes that the ever-vigilant robot would not hear her. Thankfully, the door to the supply room was malfunctioning and could no longer be voice-activated. Eva tapped a glowing green button and the doors slid open with a low hiss. Eva froze, waiting for the doors of Mother's quarters to slide open in response. What would she tell her if she were caught? Medi-sticker, she thought. The old one fell off in the shower tonight. Eva slipped into the supply room, her body heat activating the overhead lights. Watching the door slide shut, she brought the Omnipod close to her mouth. Omnipod, please instruct the sanctuary to open the back hatch in the supply room, she whispered into the device. Doorway opening. The door in the back of the room slid open with a hiss. Eva's silhouette stretched out into the dank, murky darkness. Eva whispered, I'm on my way. Next time, we read Chapter 3, Secrets. I hope you're enjoying the story so far, and have a great weekend. We'll see you again next Friday for more Teen Story Share. Bye!